What's up, folks? Welcome to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.tv. I got a great guest today, Oscar Ramirez, a border journalist, really putting his life on the line for the things he does for humanity, to be honest with you. Covering everything on the border. He's within Mexico. He's boots on the ground. Going to be a hell of a show. We're going to get the real scoop of what's going on in Mexico right now. Are they waiting for 2028 to invade the border? It looks like they are. And he's going to go into full detail on this. He says 2028, if it's not taken care of by that time, can be Biden 2.0, the worst thing to ever happen to America. Folks, hit the notification button. Smash the like. Share this video like herpes, baby. Venmo is 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏1977. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏1977. Folks, I appreciate all the prayers from my father. It's a battle, man. We are in the trenches right now, and I appreciate everybody who's prayer warriors out there. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for me. It doesn't go unseen, and I'm very appreciative. When the lights go out on Amazon, leave an honest review. The Mexican Mix, my mama's book, story about my dad, really. The Mexican Mix, leave an honest review on that. And folks, get your Noble Gold. Noble Gold. The Fed's out of options, rate cuts, money printing, balance sheet reversals. They call it policy, but it's really panic. Inflation's eating savings, the job market's slowing, and confidence in the dollar is fading fast. For decades, the Fed built a house out of paper, and now it's starting to burn. That's why smart investors are moving to what's real, and that is gold and silver. No doubt about it. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com to get your free wealth protection kit today. And that's noblegoldinvestments.com. Wealth protection simplified, folks. Get it. I got my ghetto timer. I just put on my ghetto timer right now. So this is going to be a hell of a show. I can't wait to hear. He's going to give us an overview of what's going on. He's pressed for time. I only got him for like 20, 25 minutes, but he's pressed for time. He's going to give us an overview of what's happening within Mexico right now. Lots of kidnappings, lots of killings. The politicians are dropping like flies. This is getting wild. Folks, Ringside with Nino. Ringside with Nino is this Wednesday, the 12th, where we war game together for about an hour. So I'll see you there the 12th at 5 p.m. I think 𝗶𝗏𝗀𝗏's going to join us on that one. And then the General's tent. That's the 20th at 5 p.m. with Mary Fanning, and she's bringing on some generals, some surprise generals is what she said. So I'll be talking to her more about this. X is Nino Boxer. We all know that. X is Nino Boxer. Patriotwear.com right there. Bing. Get your hat, shirt, and socks. I even have socks in there. Folks, Nino's Corner.tv. Sheila Holm is up there right now. Oscar Ramirez. Full border report is up there right now. And it is fire. Absolute fire on Nino's Corner.tv. The Ghost is coming on either today or tomorrow. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's coming on either today or tomorrow. Also, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is coming on tomorrow on that. Now, that's on YouTube. We'll be doing an extensive report on cryptids, the Nephilim. This guy is a researcher, or I think he's an archaeologist. He's definitely an explorer. He gets out there. He's boots on the ground, goes all over the planet researching this stuff. Guy's very interesting guy. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 tomorrow at 6 p.m. Set your clocks, 6 p.m. tomorrow. Also, Leo Zagami's coming on today, and I'll be putting that up on Nino's Corner.tv. So there's a lot going on. Joshua Reed's also coming on, folks. It's getting hot in here. All right, folks, you might want to turn it down or turn it up, baby. Here we go. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. Yeah, we're coming at you live from the border today, folks. This is going to get crazy. So is the shutdown going to happen? Well, it looks like the end of the shutdown. It looks like we are in the last stages of it, and it's going to get over. Now, where'd you hear that first? Right here on Nino's Corner.tv. So Stuart Swerdlow, was he right? I mean, he said, you heard him, actually, he was on my YouTube. You heard him say the shutdown will end by November 14th. I mean, he put a date out there. And I don't like when my guests do that, but he did, and look where we're at right now. Pretty crazy. You can go back on the video and watch it. He did say November 14th it will end, and he said it with confidence and like a matter of fact. So you did hear this first from me. You heard it first right here. Hey, I got to tell you, man, is Nino's Corner.tv gold or what? It's good. It's good. I'm getting some great guests. I'm telling you that right now. So here's what I know. Leaders say they are optimistic about reaching a deal this week, but they haven't committed to a specific vote just yet, a specific vote date yet. But I think they're doing that right now. One complicating factor, the Senate requires at least 60 votes to advance. I think they got that on most funding bills, and Republicans currently lack enough support, but I think they just got that right now. So when will they vote? Very soon. I think it's happening now. And here's something else I'm going to be right on, folks, okay? And I talk about this all the time. If we don't get anything fixed, which I do believe we will, by the 2026 midterms, immigrants right now, and you're going to hear this from Oscar, are being held at the Mexico border. They're still being funded and told to be ready to invade by 2028. As immigrants from Kenya, China, and South America hold the line in northern Mexico at the border, 𝗬𝗂𝗋𝗃 has stated it's illegal for Mexico to declare war on the cartels. As of right now, Mexico has become the most dangerous country in the world, and even Oscar Ramirez is going to tell you right now that it's more dangerous than Gaza. Cartel wars are breaking out all over America. Violence is erupting everywhere with the kidnapping and killing of politicians and journalists. And I think one more just dropped last night or today. If we don't, we have until, as Oscar's going to tell you, we have until 2028 to completely decapitate the deep state and cartels, or 2028 will be Biden 2.0. Now, I've been told monumental moves are coming to be made by Trump before the midterms of 2026. You've heard my guest say that. But all of that won't matter if we don't have a credible successor to fill Trump's shoes by 2028. And right now, J.D. Vance, to me, I'm sorry, he's not the guy for me. He's not the guy for me. And I don't know about what anyone else thinks, but he's just not the guy for me. And soon, Adam Schiff is going to be indicted. I'm being told it's coming very soon. Oscar Ramirez, thank you so much for joining me. Sorry to keep you back there for so long, brother. Hermano.
No, it's okay. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation, David. It's an honor to be with you.
So, you know, I got to say, you're a brave man, dude. You're out there. You're in Mexico. I'm not going to say where, but you're really reporting on the cartels, the immigrants, everything that's happening right now. Where do we stand right now? Where does Mexico look like right now?
Well, it's an actual war zone. And you were saying something about, you know, a situation with Gaza. It's actually, I went to Israel to cover the war between Iran and Israel back in June. And the mortal death on that month alone between that war was 250. If you go to the mortality rate of homicides due to cartel activity on that same month, on that same section that it was happening, the war in the Middle East, but now in Mexico, it's 2,365 people that they have died. So
it eclipses that number.
10 times higher, yes. So if that is a war, what is going on in the Middle East, what is it what we're going over here in Mexico? It is exacerbated. You know, you have decapitations, you have dismembered bodies, you have the kidnappings, you have the missing people. That is an actual problem. In the month of October, they found 89 bags of human remains in the part of Jalisco. The mother searchers, these are women that they go out and look for their family members. And right now, what we're looking, it is this last assassination that happened on the past Saturday of the mayor, Carlos Manzo. This mayor was a prominent, and he was going to be possibly the next president of Mexico. He was fronting the cartel. He was confronting them every time. And he made several videos pleading help for the Mexican president, asking her to please help him, because the cartels, a lot of people in the United States do not know this. Because of the Biden administration, they grew 2 times stronger, not only economically, financially, territory, but also in technology. They grew massively because of the massive trafficking that they were pushing through the United States of America. They make a multi-billion business. And now because of that, they have enormous equipment. And he was making videos telling the president, please come and help me. There's drones, there's all these other equipment that I cannot handle with just, you know, the artillery that I got. And, you know, finally he got assassinated. And sadly, he got assassinated. After that, he lit a fire. The whole people of Mexico, now they're completely sick and tired. They're upset. There's a massive protest happening on the 15th of November. But in less than a week, you know, this is what has been happening. The assassination of the mayor of Uruapan, 5 police officers in less than 4 days. A councilwoman, 𝗬𝗶𝗹 from the part of Oaxaca, assassinated. And just last night, as I was telling you, Hermenegildo Vázquez, was assassinated, that he was a delegate in the part of Salamanca, Guanajuato. And also they're informing me right now, a former mayor of the political party of the opposition of the Conservative Party, he was decapitated. They're giving me
This just happened right now.
yes, it's happening right now. They're sending me this information right now.
So are we going into a civil war in Mexico? I mean, is that what's transpiring? And all of this started with Trump, correct?
Yes. Well, it started growing more with Donald Trump. And what the Trump administration has done is historically, nobody has ever done it. First and foremost, they released a letter from the White House saying that the government was in cahoots with the organized crime and the cartel. That was huge. Us Mexicans, we already knew that, but for the world, it was huge because it was coming out of the White House. Second of all, he cut the funds. What does this mean? He completely shut down the border on the United States border. So the moneymaker and in the final prize of the United States is shut down. So it was a domino effect all the way to Central America and South America. I have been in the Darien Gap 4 times. I can tell you that was the moneymaker in South America. Why? Because the cartel, el Clan del Golfo, now designated as a domestic terrorist organization in Colombia, was making millions of dollars also. So it completely shut them down, hit them right in the pocket. So we knew that after that, what is the cartel going to do? Go back to the number one objective, that is inner violence, drug distribution, drug trafficking. And ultimately, the Trump administration has pushed the Mexican government like no other. They have decreased the level of fentanyl of arrival to the United States 50%. They have dismantled more than 1,200 laboratories. One of the biggest laboratories that it was dismantled, Nino, it was 40 acres, and they found more than 700 doses of methamphetamine, 700 million doses of methamphetamine. Imagine that. They have delivered more than 50 liters of cartels into the United States of America. And the most important thing, they have exposed the dirty politicians of Mexico. That is the most important thing. They have exposed more than 50 politicians, canceled their visas. 3 of them are located right here in the state of Baja. The governor is one of them. Her husband is another one. The mayor of Mexicali next to Calexico is another one. And a former mayor of Rosarito, that she's actually a federal deputy right now, current federal deputy. She has been signalized by the Department of Treasury being in cahoots with the organized crime also.
So 𝗬𝗏cie𝗰𝗶𝗹 has come out and stated that it's illegal to go to war with the cartels. Did she come out and say this?
It's unbelievable for a lot of people, but for us, we already knew that she was going to protect the fact of create a smokescreen. So this will decrease, and the level of hype that is going on right now in Mexico will actually decrease. And she actually said that, yes. And it's because, there's a lot of creators of content, leftists, bloggers and influencers, that they are paid by the political party, and they're actually also located inside of the United States, that they're contaminating the Hispanic community, and they're telling them that you're going to be blown away by this. This is the conspiracy that they're making up, that this was the Trump administration in cahoots with the PRI and PAN, the conservative parties of Mexico, trying to make a justification so they can invade Mexico. So they're actually saying that the Trump administration with conservative parties in Mexico actually are killing these politicians to have a justification to invade. And that is the only way that they can justify to protect the cartels. These people are completely inhuman, man. They don't know what we're going through right now.
So you're boots on the ground. You're there on the border. What is the consensus with the immigrants right now? They're waiting until 2028, correct? I mean, are they still being funded and pushed to go to the border right now?
You have this USAID that got canceled, that what I have been screaming for almost 10 years because of the globalist compact of immigration. I have said the United States is funding these mercenary leftists, progressive mercenary leftists. The majority, I have to say, they're white, and they're the ones that they're coming over here, and with these NGOs profiting and making money out of human misery. So this has been happening for years. On the first minute that Trump became president, on 9:01 West Coast time, 12:01 East Coast time, the CBP1 app got immediately canceled, and you had more than 1.2 million migrants waiting on the border with CBP1 applications that they were going to enter the United States.
Explain what that is to my audience real quick. What is
CBP1? Okay, so CBP1 was an application that it was created under the Biden administration. This application was for you to enter through your phone, through your media phone. And you downloaded the app, you put all your information in there, and they will, the Biden administration will give you an appointment, or the Department of Homeland Security at that time, Alejandro Mayorkas, will give you an appointment to enter to a court into the United States via Mexico and then you enter into the United States, they will release you into the population, and they will tell you you will have court until 2028 to come and we can discuss your asylum and refugee case. It was a highway, to do it illicitly and illegally.
Or an invasion.
Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands that were doing it legally, waiting on the line, paperwork. This was an immediate highway. So you have 1.2 million people waiting on the Mexico border. Then you have around 1.3 million people waiting on the central parts of Mexico. That is Mexico, Querétaro, Puebla, Cuernavaca, the central parts of Mexico. These people they got stuck. They don't have resources to go back, because in Venezuela, for you to get your passport, you have to go to Caracas. So that is impossible. You cannot travel. So these people are stuck here. The majority have said, we are going to wait. And I'm saying 80 to 90%. They're saying we are going to wait to see the 2028 elections. If somebody on the left wins the 2028 elections, a rhino or a neocon or a Republican that is a sellout will win the 2028 elections and starts having conversations with Alex Soros or George Soros, that means bringing back the global compact on migration to the United States, it is a done deal, because Mexico is part of the globalist compact. It is not getting out of it. The border is still open between Guatemala and Mexico. The international organizations that is the real head of the snake of the problem, the UNHCR, OIM, all these international organizations that we discovered in the Darien Gap, that they were also, putting maps so they can tell the migrants how to get to Colombia through the jungle and all the way to the United States of America. You have all of these situations that they are on a hold. And if this, continues to understand that you will have a Democratic president, this is worse.
So they're waiting patiently right now just for the signal to come across, and it's going to be hellfire if they come across in 2028. It's going to be Biden 2.0 on steroids.
Well, basically, yes, you have more than 2 million infraction waiting in Mexico, plus the ones in Central America and South America, plus the ones that they're going to wake up and say, again, it is open. So you will have a flow in the first.
Do they really believe this is going to happen? Are they waiting for 2028?
Oh, yes. We have statements from leaders in shelters, even the own activists themselves. They know what they are going to do, and they know their way and modus operandi to instigate and to continue to start protesting on the last months of the elections, or it's strategically done.
So they're planning it out right now. The plans are in work for 2028.
Oh, yes. And, they're hurt. All these mercenary activists, all these NGOs that they were operating freely in our country of Mexico, they are brutally hurt because they don't have, funds like they used to have. Just right here in Tijuana, we discovered in 2019 an NGO, lawyers from the United States, that it was receiving funds from Chuck Schumer, that they were making fake marriages and fake matrimony so they can easily get the families and the children into the United States of America. It's a lot of these NGOs, they were caught, like HIAS, another one that it was caught in the Darien Gap, outside of the Darien Gap, that they were putting maps of how to get through the Darien Gap. All these NGOs that were making it was a profitable business. That's plain and simple.
So what's going to happen now that we're getting ready to strike Venezuela? I mean, do you think that Trump should make strikes in Mexico and take out these cartels? I mean, what do you think the ramifications are going to be from Venezuela? And do you think next should be Mexico?
I think it's completely different. It's two different scenarios, because in Venezuela, he's doing it in international waters, and he's actually sending a deep message to the massive trafficking of drugs and fentanyl and liquids and precursors that is happening from Venezuela to the north. So actually, the people from Venezuela, if you ask them, the majority, and I have walked with hundreds of thousands of them through the Darien, through multiple caravans, I walked more than 12. I can tell you that the majority of the people of Venezuela, and friends that I have, and reporters and journalists, that they are there right now. They're waiting to Trump to strike. They want him to strike, and they want him to go in there and just eliminate this regime, because that is an actual dictator. That's an actual regime and dictator since the years of Chavez, and now with Maduro. So they're actually waiting on that. In Mexico, it is completely different. I think that the strategy that Trump needs to use, because of the international treaties, because of the exacerbated economy of importing and exporting that we have, the automobile industry that is the most lucrative industry between us, the two countries, and we have the manufacturing, moneymaker in the parts of Mexico. I don't think that he's going to do it. I think that is the threat of a tariff, it is going to grow. I think that he's going to hit them more in the pockets, and he's going to expose more the dirty politicians. So the political party will be completely exposed, and the rising of Mexicans will actually be the ones that they're going to push the government out, like it is happening right now.
The Mexicans will overthrow their own government.
I think they're actually doing it right now. They're pushing for a protest on the 15th of November. They're asking for impeachment of the president, although the leftists, they say that the president of Mexico has 70% of approval, that is a complete obvious lie. Yeah. Like always, they're going to lie about that. But the majority of Mexico, it is completely upset of what is actually happening right now.
Oscar, thank you for coming on the show. I know you're pressed for time. Folks, he's a busy guy. We talked about cartel warfare in America. Go to ninoscorner.tv. There's a full hour there where we discuss everything. Oscar, thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Nino, thank you so much, and I'm always at your service. Thank you so much.
Gracias, compadre. Folks, this is getting wild. I mean, I'm here on the border, and I'm hearing all kinds of things from the Border Patrol. I'm hearing stuff from ICE agents that are my friends. I'm telling you, folks, it's boiling in Mexico. And if you're going to go there, if you know someone that's going to Mexico, I would say sit this one out. It's getting hot. It's more dangerous than Gaza. You want to send your kids there, relatives. I don't understand why anyone goes there. Now, I know also there's people that go there and lie about their citizenship and say they're Canadians. Why do you even want to go through that? I don't understand any of that. It's very hot. It's unpredictable right now. Sit this one out. Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani. What the fuck? Rudy Giuliani and others who backed efforts to overturn. Look how they write this. Overturn loss. Yeah, because they're the bad guys. So President Donald Trump has pardoned his former personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani. God, what the hell is wrong with me? Rudy Giuliani. His one-time chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and others accused of backing the Republicans' efforts to overturn the full, complete, and unconditional pardon applies. It's playing, Alex. Well, applies only to federal crimes, and it's playing, Alex.
They are because it's probably a great.
Thank you. So the full, complete, and unconditional pardon applies only to federal crimes, and one of the dozens of Trump allies named in the proclamation were ever changed federally over the bid to subvert the election won by Democrat Joe Biden. So they're saying, ooh, look what he's doing, retribution. So here's the people that he pardoned. Rudy Giuliani, Harrison Floyd, I was about to say Harrison Ford, Harrison Floyd, John Eastman, Cindy Powell, Mark Meadows, and I'm sure a lot more are coming, but it makes you wonder, the real enemy here, the true enemy here is the mainstream media. We all know this. And look at the way, now this is Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, Cindy Powell, others involved in the 2020 election interference saga. So they're saying these are the ones that were involved in the election interference saga. Folks, I've been told that as this progresses this year, going into next year, going into 2026 midterms, it's going to be plain as day what happened to the people that are kind of a little bit slow to the ball, and they're going to start understanding what's going on here. All roads lead to who? Not him. Senate is poised to take the first steps to end the 40-day shutdown. I think the voting was happening right now. Alex, I don't know if you could pull something up where the voting is happening now and maybe show where it's at. I think we're on the verge of ending this shutdown, but it's going to take a Democratic surrender. And Bernie Sanders is all up in arms right now, going batshit crazy on the Democrats voting to end this shutdown because they're surrendering. They're actually surrendering, folks. So the Senate is voting on its first steps to end the 40-day government shutdown after a group of moderate Democrats agreed to proceed without guaranteed extension of health care subsidies, angered many in their caucus who wanted to continue the fight. So government shutdown, live updates as Senate moves forward with would deal to end 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗶. So I talked to Juan right now. He says, he's still very skeptical on this. He doesn't know what's going to happen, but you heard Stuart Swerdlow come on and say, this will end by November 14th. And even if it doesn't end, folks, think about this for a second. The fact that he called it, that they're in these stages right now to end it, is pretty damn impressive, if you ask me. It's pretty damn impressive that he called the date out, November 14th, for this to end. And now we're in the battle of it ending right now. So to me, I think it's very realistic that it could end. Breaking: Obama's intel czar James Clapper has until November 20th to respond to grand jury subpoena for records related to his communications with Obama, John Brennan, James Comey, and others during the manufacturing of fake U.S. intelligence trying to tie Trump to Russia in 2016. Russia. Getting pretty crazy, folks. And if you're traveling right now, hopefully you're not traveling to Mexico. Hopefully you're not going to Mexico. But if you are, 50% of flights right now, 50% of flights, 50% of flights are delayed or canceled. Wow. Which wrecks tomorrow as well. I don't know. And folks, I guess if the government reopens, I guess things will go back to normal. But as of right now, it's chaos at the airports. 10,000 flights disrupted Sunday as government shutdown snarls air travel. And obviously, it's probably continuing today. 10,000? Looks like, well, I guess the hotel business is doing great right now, right? Everyone's grabbing a hotel or motel. Jeez. Trump loyalists push grand conspiracy as new subpoenas land. So this is what they're going to be putting out there all the time now. Grand conspiracy. They're going to make it sound like Trump's on a retribution tour. He's looking for revenge. He's seeking revenge. The Justice Department moved an inquiry that appeared initially focused on the former CIA Director John O. Brennan and South Florida and is beginning to recruit line prosecutors. This is taking off, folks. It's beginning. And I always talked about the boomerang coming, but you know what you got to win first? The court of public opinion. And that's why this is taking so long, by the way. But this will go military. It will go. I've been told by many people, oh, yeah, it's going there. It's just this is the process to get the hey, what's going on? These people, okay, they have to get up to speed on everything. And it takes a while. So John A. Redding Quiñones, the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida, is investigating a January 2017 intelligence community assessment about Russian interference in the 2016 election, particularly the role played by John Brennan, the director. Right-wing activists believe he has broad jurisdiction to bring a wider array of charges involving investigations into Mr. Trump because Mar-a-Lago, the president's private club and residence, is in his district. So what does the deep state still control right now? The mainstream media. All of it. They still control that. And who don't they control? People like me. Yeah. A lot of you say, oh, who's Nino's handler? Nobody. Okay? Not a fucking person. I'm a one-man show, and I'm proud of it. I know a lot of people that sell out. And you know what? At least I still have my backbone and my soul. I don't sell out. No, I'll never sell out. But I'll tell you what's coming. I'll tell you what sellout's going to get indicted. Adam Schiff. How an Adam Schiff indictment could shake the Senate. It's coming. So President Trump's retribution campaign against his political adversaries could soon hit the Senate. And lawmakers are already bracing for impact. So these people are getting ready. They're lowering up. Right? Why am I doing this? Did I just have a stroke? Lowering up, whatever. Up right now. And I got to tell you, after securing the indictments of former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, motherfucker, Trump is sights set on Senator Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff looks like he's on the chopping block. The California Democrat who was a member of the House managed the president's first impeachment trial. If Schiff ends up indicted on allegations of mortgage fraud, a charge he has vehemently denied. Now, where did you see this first on? Right here. Sean Taylor mapped out the intricate web of mortgage fraud on ninoscorner.tv. So that is there. It's still there. I think you have to go back about a month. I'm going to try to bring Sean Taylor back on again to discuss this. But yeah, the mortgage fraud thing, enormous. Everybody's implicated, folks. Banks, this right here will implicate everyone. That's how serious this is. You think USAID is big? I'm going to tell you this. You think USAID is big? Wait till you get to the mortgage fraud. It's everybody. That's how they've been doing this the entire time, folks. They're very creative, by the way. They're very, very creative. As Schiff solicits dollars for a legal defense fund and builds an expansive political operation prepared to do damage control around any potential charges, Schiff's Democratic colleagues in Congress are increasingly anxious about their own vulnerability and future. Yeah. They also are frustrated with the unwillingness of Republican senators to speak out on Schiff's behalf. Yeah. I'm just going to say one thing. Some people know the story about Schiff in L.A. At the Standard Hotel, I believe it was. I don't know if some of you know about this story. Look into it. Yeah, look into that. So lawmakers of both parties, the Republican and Democrats, are closely watching to see what will become of Schiff. Interviews with senators revealed concerns that their institution is at risk of becoming further polarized if the DOJ goes ahead with charges. You can't go around threatening people every day and have a collaborative environment, said Senator Maria Cantwell, Democrat out of Washington. Now, I've been told, folks, the Democratic Party is going to be over, done with, zero. The remnants of them are not going to be able to survive 2028. That's why I'm kind of confident about 2028, because I think when this all comes and the dust settles, the Democratic Party is going to be over. My concern is this. My concern is a rhino, because we know deep state controls both sides. Now, is it going to be – now, a lot of you are very happy with J.D. Vance. I am 1 foot in, 1 foot out with that guy. He's not a fighter, in my opinion. He's just kind of there. Now, is he going to be able to be controlled by Trump, by Don Jr.? I don't know how that's going to work. This is all I'm just hypothetically speaking right now. It's just theory. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but he doesn't have what Trump has, and I think we all know that to be very obvious. Now, a lot of people say he's going to be the AI, the president of technology. I'm watching him right now at TPUSA with Erica Kirk. It's not passing the smell test for me, because who runs TPUSA right now? In my opinion, I think it's that little country in the Middle East. That's as far as I'll go with that. And I think that's why everything happened the way it did. And now Erica Kirk is front and center. I'm not saying she's not sad. I'm not saying she's not upset. I'm just saying it's weird. Everything is weird. Everything's weird. And I think Candace Owens is doing a great job right now, a great job of exposing everything. I think Candace Owens is doing an amazing job. But if you notice, there's a lot of people within TPUSA. There's a lot of people around that. The security, they're just quiet. And I got to tell you, I don't like quiet in times like this. I like people to speak out like Candace. And with that being said, let me get to my next mid-roll here. Let's get some collagen, folks. In a recent clinical trial this year, women who took 2.5 grams of collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks saw an average of 25% reduction in eye wrinkle depth, a 9% improvement in skin elasticity, and a 29% book in skin hydration, proving collagen can visibly strengthen and rejuvenate skin from within. This is true. This is why I use today's sponsor, BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen, and I'm obsessed with the results it's giving my skin. BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen helps supercharge my skin health using 5 premium types of collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles. I've noticed smoother skin, more elasticity, more hydration, fewer fine lines, and a youthful glow. Plus, it helps improve my joint health, bone strength, and connective tissues. on top of my skin health. So I'm able to go do more and more workouts, to be quite honest with you. And I'm having a great time running on the treadmill and meditating because I love to run on the treadmill. For a limited time, you can grab a bag of BioTrust Ageless Multi-Collagen for 51% off only at Health with Nino, baby. Plus, you'll also receive a free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free express shipping with your order. So go to the link below, hit it, and get started, folks. Start looking young again. At least look your best. At least try to always look your best, right? At least always try to look your best. Biden's autopen pardon scandal. So, did President Biden's autopen just run out of ink? This is a serious question, but probably does require some explanation. Recent months have been filled with so-called tell-all books from Biden administration insiders. In trying to boost sales, they write about how Biden's cognitive impairment, which we all know that's part of it, but it's way more than that, was preoccupation around the White House. Staff had to use teleprompters for informal meet and greet events. The use of note cards is not unusual, but Biden's note cards include names and pictures of people he had known for decades, but now could not recall their names. Plus, conferences had to be stage managed with questions screened in advance, answers written down, and only certain reporters were allowed to ask questions. There's even questions about, was he even in the White House? Okay, that's actually very true. Very true. White House staff even painted lines on the floor in certain rooms so that Biden knew where to walk. Sometimes Biden wandered off anyway and went and had to be guided back. Golly, that was a mess, wasn't it? Had to be guided back to relevant events because he had no idea where he was or what he was even talking about. Now, that's happening. That really did happen. But who was giving him orders? Who was really in charge? All roads lead to who? Not the autopen. Not the autopen, as they would like you to believe. This is just the first stages of all roads leading to Obama. This is just the first stage. Remember, folks, the court of public opinion. There it is right there on Trump's own Truth Social. Right there. That's it. That's all you got to know. That's it. And all those pardons, null and void, null and void, null and void. And let me tell you, folks, these people are worried to death. Because why? Clickety clank, off to Gitmo you go. So Tim Davey resigns. I don't know if you guys saw this True Social post by Trump, but Tim Davey resigns as BBC Director General after accusations of serious and systemic bias and coverage. Just taking down the deep state media. That's all that's happening. Tim Davey, the BBC's Director General and the head of BBC News, has resigned after a former advisor to the corporation accused it of serious and systemic bias in its coverage of issues including Donald Trump, Gaza, and trans rights. Hey. An announcement that caused shock with the corporation. Davey said that his departure was entirely my decision. Sure it was. And it comes as the BBC prepares to apologize for the way it edited the Trump speech. And I've heard also, folks, that this is just the beginning of many, by the way, of many. This is how the mainstream media goes down. Down goes 𝗂𝗏. Down goes 𝗂𝗏. They're going down, folks. They're going down. I know it's a longer process than many of you would like. I mean, a lot of us, and including me, I get frustrated. You hear about it all the time when I'm talking with 𝗀𝗏 on the podcast. I get frustrated. I get really, and sometimes, you know, when he goes into story time, I get real frustrated. And a lot of you, I let the man talk. You just let him talk, Nino. Well, I don't know about you, but I got shit to do sometimes, and right now my dad's in the hospital, and I'm on a crunch, so it's hard. But he does drop a lot of gold nuggets in there, doesn't he? You got to really pay attention to the way he speaks in parables. So, boy. Oh, let's get to the next one here. So Trump wants Commanders' new stadium in D.C. named after him. I don't see why not. What the hell? Just do it. President Donald Trump wants the Washington Commanders to name their planned $3.7 billion stadium after him. I mean, folks, $3.7 billion for a stadium. This is how important it is to keep you fucking distracted. This is it right here. $3.7 billion for a bunch of dudes wearing tights chasing a ball to keep your little asses happy and distracted so you don't look other places like the government. As long as you're paying attention to what Dak Prescott's doing. Why didn't he throw the ball to the left or the right? Why is his flanker going that way? As long as you're paying attention to that shit, you never look at the government. Nah, not like what Nino's doing right now. Nah, because they're so busy paying attention to insequential, stupid shit that they keep you distracted. It's called bread and circus, and the Romans knew this very well. And although I love sports, I like to watch them here and there. My life doesn't depend on it like a lot of these guys who are 30, 35, 40, wearing another man's name on their shirt. I'll sure love him. Yeah, is he paying your bills? I mean, I don't understand why you're wearing his name on your shirt. I've never understood that. Never got it. Nah, you still don't. A senior White House source said there has been back channel communications with a member of the Commanders ownership group led by Josh Harris to express Trump's desire to have the domed stadium in the nation's capital bear his name. God, that's crazy. The new stadium is being built on the old RFK Stadium site that served as the team's home from 1961 to 1996. That would be a beautiful name, as it was President Trump who made the rebuilding of the new stadium possible, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt told ESPN on Friday night via email. You know what? That's the least we could do, right? Give him his own stadium name. I hope like hell. Steve Bannon is coming out and saying that Trump will be president in 2028. I'm hearing different things in the back channels. I don't know. I've heard, it's kind of scary to think. 𝗬𝗏, right, talks about how the government shutdown will end this week, and it's ending. It looks like it's ending. It looks like it's going to be at least ending temporarily, probably till January, whatever. So he'd be right about that. Could he be right in saying that Trump will not finish his term and J.D. Vance will step in to finish the rest of it? I mean, that seems plausible to me. I don't know. You all decide on my chat here, and you guys talk amongst yourselves, and tell me what you think. But now it's time for some what the fuck news. And what the fuck news. Whew. I got to tell you, folks, this is a hard podcast to get through with the shit that I'm going through right now. I mean, I'm just a fucking mess. Yep, I'm a mess. I don't even know how I'm doing this. Man. Trump says U.S. visas can be denied to fat people, from now on. I'm not kidding. Okay, that's why this is what the fuck news. President Trump is rejecting visas for fat people. The Trump administration has ordered visa. Oh, boy. I mean, they'll keep McDonald's in business, right? The Trump administration has ordered visa officers to deny immigrants who are obese or have certain health issues, in yet another instance of the president's strange obsession with fat people. A Thursday directive from the State Department sent to embassies and consulates around the world indicates that people applying for visas to the United States may be rejected if they have certain medical conditions. So why don't they just say with certain medical conditions? Why did they have to put it on obese people? On the grounds that they can take up domestic health care resources. Wow. You must consider an applicant's health, the cable read, certain medical conditions, including but not limited to cardiovascular diseases, respiratory diseases, cancers, diabetes, metabolic diseases, neurological diseases, and mental health conditions. So that's an array of stuff, not just overweight people that can require hundreds and thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money worth of care. The announcement then goes on to mention obesity, stating that it can be connected to asthma, sleep apnea, and high blood pressure and diabetes. All of these can require expensive long-term care. The cable continues. Does the applicant have adequate financial resources to cover the costs of such care over his entire expected lifespan without seeking public cash assistance or long-term institutionalization of the government expense, hence, or AKA taxpayers? So I don't know. I don't know how you all feel about this. I kind of look at it and go, yeah, I mean, makes sense to me. It does make sense to me. But when you also know that when the immigrants were coming here, they were walking hundreds of miles, thousands of miles in caravans. Also, many of them were military-aged men that got across. I'm telling you, folks, I saw one jump the border wall like Spider-Man. Like, I couldn't have done that shit in my prime. And I was watching this guy catapult over the fence onto the ground and land on his feet. I've never seen anything like it till this very day. And they would throw ladders up with hooks on them so they can climb the ladder up. And then they get to the top, they swing it over, and they go a couple, and they just drop to their feet. It's unbelievable. I've watched it in person. Now it's not happening at all. None of this is happening at all. To me, and I've been talking to a lot of people in the Border Patrol, it's stopped completely. It's like almost at like a 0% getting over. It's unbelievable what's happening. And now, are people still trying? Well, Oscar Ramirez says yes. They're all waiting at the border for 2028, like I've said many times, and they're getting ready to go full throttle invasion. Full throttle invasion. So they're not really cooperating. I don't know why Trump has not put more tariffs on them. They don't care. They're manipulating behind the scenes, doing what they got to do. It's going to be interesting how Trump handles Mexico. I'd say we keep our eye on Mexico because, and let me tell you folks, once again, please don't travel there. Sit this one out. Go to the Florida Keys. If you want to go to the beach, go to other places because it's dangerous. It's hot right now, and it's just starting. It's just starting. Alex, are you there?
Hey, Nino.
Not too bad, right?
Yeah, no, that was a great show, and man, Oscar really is just really appreciated him coming on and being boots on the ground. He's done walkthroughs at the Darien Gap. I mean, this guy has really been all over, up and down, and deep.
I was lucky to get him, dude. I was lucky to get him because he's busy, man. And also, like, man, that his life has got to be in danger.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, you know, just saying prayers for him and his safety because he's putting his neck on the line, just doing what he's doing. So really commend him, and
no, it's scary, dude. And I'm telling you, it's getting worse in Mexico. People really got to like stay out of there. I wouldn't even go to the resort towns. I mean, dude, I especially if you have like youngsters going like in their 20s, like people want to go. The fact that people have to say, "Oh no, I'm not American, I'm Canadian," they don't give a shit right now, dude. Like it's all systems go, man.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get worse. I mean, he said it's the most dangerous country in the world and more dangerous than Gaza.
I mean, it was something like 2,300 deaths per day.
Yeah, dude. In Juarez, they were mowing down 100 people a day at one point, like going into schools, restaurants, just taking people out, bro. When it kicks off, it's all out war. It's a war. It's an actual war, and they don't care who's in the way. And my concern has always been if this shit's going to hit America. And I talked about this with Oscar Ramirez on ninoscorner.tv. All right, folks, I'll see you at ninoscorner.tv. I'll be going on with Wano Saving today and Leo Zagami. Oh, let's read some super chats.
Yeah, we just got like 4 of them real quick.
All right, cool. Kelly 𝗵𝗍𝗂, super sticker. Thank you so much. Jim Barbado, thank you, super sticker. Thank you so much, Jim. Sean, what does that say?
Palinx.
Best moderator administration team in the business. You got it, man. Yes, you are, Alex.
Thanks, Sean.
And all my mods too. All my mods.
Shout out to the mods.
Shout out to all the mods. Douglas Ivan, hey Nino, just want to wish a happy birthday, Marines. All right, happy birthday, Marines. We've been around 250 years. I was wondering, you ever bring call-ins back to YouTube? Yeah, I might do it. It's just that people don't. They kind of don't mind their P's and Q's, and then I have to go back and edit it, and it's just a pain in the ass. It's just right, Alex. It's like they just start going off, and then next thing you know, we're there for 20 minutes a call. It's like, and they start dropping like very buzzwords that I have to go back and edit, so it's hard.
Yeah, it can be a little bit challenging that way. At least there's ringside with Nino now. It's a good opportunity for that. But, you know, maybe we'll bring it back here and there. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, if folks, Wargaming with the Black Sheep family, it's a network. Ringside with Nino is going to be fire, and it's going to be the 12th. So, and we're also doing Timothy Alberino tomorrow, 6 p.m.
That's going to be awesome. That's going to
be fire too, man. Oh, and John Pounders is joining us, so he's going to co-host. Me, John Pounders, Alex, and Timothy Alberino. Folks, this is going to be something you don't want to miss because we're going to talk about the 𝗫𝗠. We're going to talk about everything with Timothy Alberino. This guy has seen it all. Highly researched, and I guess you could call him like the modern Jacques Cousteau type of that's the way I look at him. I think anybody who goes out there and does what he's doing, it's pretty interesting. He's like an Indiana Jones. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Or there's one more, I think, snuck in.
Okay,
there we go.
Super CR710031 super sticker. Thank you so much. All right, folks, I got 𝗬𝗂𝗍𝗶𝗹, and then I got to go see my dad. I got to go see my pops. Thanks, Alex.
Right. Thanks, Nino.
And the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby. Later.